Everything you need to know about the Instagram algorithm is going to be in this video. You're welcome. What's up everyone, I'm Millie, I'm an influencer coach, and welcome back to my channel where you get weekly videos from me teaching you the most up-to-date tips, tricks, and strategies for how to grow your brand online. As always, timestamps and resources are going to be linked down below because I value your time and you already know why you're here. So let's get into it. First things first, what is the algorithm? The almighty, ever-present, ever-changing algorithm. The biggest misconception about the Instagram algorithm is that there's only one of them, but there isn't. There's actually multiple algorithms and processes that Instagram uses behind the scenes to personalize a user's experience on the app. The most common algorithms that we're going to be talking about today are algorithms for feed and stories, search and explore, and reels. First, let's talk about your feed. Right now, there are 3 ways that you can view your feed. You have your following, favorites, and default. When you switch to the following feed, you will see the most recent posts from the people that you follow, meaning these will show up in chronological order. When you switch to your favorite feed, you will see the latest from accounts that you chose to be your favorites. To add someone as your favorite, all you have to do is go to their profile, select the little following drop-down arrow and select favorites, or if you come across a user's post that you really like and you want to add them to your favorites, select the 3 dots on the top right corner of that post and then add to favorites. If you haven't already added me as one of your favorites on Instagram, you can practice using my account. You can add up to 50 people to your favorites list. Now, default is the main view that you see when opening up your Instagram app. When you're on the default feed, the algorithm will suggest posts that it thinks you'll like based on multiple factors, noting that accounts that are on your favorites list will show up higher in your feed. How the algorithm ranks your default feed is similar to how it ranks your story bubbles up top. So let's talk about how Instagram ranks your feed and stories first. Instagram says that they assume your default feed and stories are places where people want to see content from their friends, family, and those they are closest to. I think that's the biggest differentiation between your default feed, search and explore, and the Reels tabs is Instagram is predicting, hey, we think you're the closest to these people, so they're gonna rank higher in your feed and on your stories. So how do they determine who you're closest to? It's not like you can tag accounts as I'm in a relationship with this person, this is my mom, this is my brother. So it's not like you have those tags. So how are they determining who you're closest to? Instagram uses something called signals. There are thousands of signals that Instagram uses. For example, you have the information about what was posted, the people who made the post, your personal preferences, what you enjoy to interact with, what time a post was shared, whether you're using your phone or the web browser, how often you like videos compared to photos, and even who your favorites are. So that's just a few signals, but like I said, there's thousands that Instagram uses to try to guess what you'd be most interested in. In an article shedding more light on how Instagram works, they rank the order of importance of signals. So the most important signals across feed and stories, roughly in order of importance, are information about the post, information about the person who posted, your activity, and your history of interacting with someone. Now, when it comes to information about the post, they're looking at signals like how popular a post is, but also more mundane things like the content itself, the information about the post, who posted it, how long is it, if it's a video, was there a location attached to it, all of the things. And then they look at information about the person who posted, because they want to predict how interesting that person or account might be to you. So they'll look at signals like how many times you've interacted with that person in the past few weeks, what that person's posts are typically about, or what that person's profile is typically about. The next thing is just your activity on the app. What sort of posts have you liked in the past? And then finally, your history of interacting with someone. So this gives Instagram a sense of how close you are to that person, how interested you might be in seeing their content. For example, whether or not you two comment on each other's posts. From there, Instagram will then try to predict how likely you are to spend a few seconds on a post, comment on it, like, save, tap, share, go to the person's profile. The more likely you are to take an action on a post, the higher you'll see that post up in your feed. The more likely Instagram thinks you are to take an action on a post, that post will rank higher in your feed. Something that's really cool is you can see this in action happening right now on your profile. Literally open your app, the first post that's there, select the 3 dots on the top right corner. There's an option that says why you're seeing this post. Instagram will literally tell you why they ranked that post higher on your feed. I love this sort of transparency. It helps us understand, okay, why is this video getting recommended to me? And you could always tell Instagram, hey, don't recommend me this type of stuff. Now let's talk about ranking for search and explore. Explore was designed to help users discover new things. The grid is made up of recommendations that Instagram has gone out and found for you. How do they select all of these posts, or to find like the pool of photos and videos they think you'll like? They look at signals again. So how does Instagram pick and choose what they think you'll enjoy seeing on your Explorer? How do they select that pool of photos and videos? Again, they'll look at signals like posts you've liked and saved and commented on in the past, and then they'll try to recommend content that's similar to the posts that you've liked in the past. Going back to the Shedding Light on How Instagram Works article for Explore ranking, the signals that Instagram weighs roughly in order of importance are information about the post. Here they're looking at how popular a post might seem, so they are taking into account how quickly other people are liking, commenting, sharing, and saving that post. These types of signals matter more on Search and Explore than they do in Feed and Stories. Next is the history of interacting with the person who posted. Again, these posts might not be from people you've ever interacted with, but when you interact with a certain profile, it tells Instagram, hey, this type of content or this type of profile is stuff that I would typically like. So let's try to find similar profiles. Next is your activity. We kind of already touched on this. It's signals like what you've liked, commented, shared, saved, but more specifically, it's signals and activity that you've made on the Explore page in the past. When you're on Explore, what type of posts capture your attention? Which posts do you actually click to and engage with? That's what they're taking a closer look at. And then finally, information about the person who posted. To talk a little bit more about that one, there was an article that was posted that talks about Instagram's AI and a deeper look into their algorithm. And in this article, they said because Instagram has a large number of interest-focused accounts based on specific themes, they created a retrieval pipeline that focuses on account level information rather than media level. So by building account embeddings, they're able to more efficiently identify which accounts are topically similar to each other. Did you understand? I know that was a lot of like mumbo jumbo word vomit, but did you understand that? They use account level embeddings. So it's not just like, oh, this post is about this post is about this. Account level embeddings to help recommend content to users that's topically similar to each other. So let's say you've recently liked a number of photos from Barnes & Noble. Me. Instagram will take a look at the Barnes & Noble account and other people who interact with Barnes & Noble. From these people, they'll then look and go, hey, what other accounts that are topically similar to Barnes & Noble do these people interact with? And then they'll get results like, oh, book of the month, Owl Crate. So because all these other accounts are topically similar to each other, then they'll be able to recommend that type of content onto your Search and Explore page. This is why having a niche on Instagram is so important. Do you have to have a niche in order to grow on social media, period? Yes and no. Like, it absolutely helps if your goal is rapid growth. Yes, have a niche. But for Instagram specifically, that platform, you want to have a niche. I know on TikTok, it's a different ballgame. It is a different ballgame. There's so much more creative freedom. You don't have to be in like a niche. You could do some lifestyle, talking casual trends, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot more options there. But the algorithm on Instagram is specifically saying you need to be topically consistent. Because when you're topically consistent, then we know who to show your profile to. We know who to show your content to. So that's why I'm always saying to pick a niche. Not because, oh, you have to do this, it's good business practice. Not because of that, but because Instagram's algorithm was designed to benefit people who have a defined niche. Okay, end rant. Sorry, had to go there. Okay, next we have ranking for the Reels page. Instagram says Reels were designed to entertain you. Much like the Explore, the majority of what you see on your Reels tabs come from accounts you don't follow. So the process of picking videos for the feed is a very similar process. First, they'll go out and find a bunch of videos they think you'll like. And then they'll rank them in order of what they think you might be most interested in, with an eye towards smaller creators. Yes, Instagram has literally said, with an eye towards smaller creators. They're trying to adapt their algorithm similar to the TikTok algorithm, where it's so easy for smaller creators to blow up over there. And that's a strategy they're trying to implement with Reels specifically. Again, another reason why all the advice you hear everywhere is like, oh, make Reels, make Reels. If you want to grow, make Reels. It's because Instagram's literally telling you the secret sauce. They're literally saying, hey, our algorithm was designed to benefit niche creators. And if you're a small creator, posting consistent Reels that are topically similar to each other, you're gonna have a grand old time growing. Okay, now the signals they look for roughly in order of importance are your activity. So they look at Reels that you've engaged with in the past and which ones you've liked and commented on most recently. Your history of interacting with the person who posted. Like an Explorer, it's probably a video from somebody you've never heard of before or never interacted with. But if you've interacted with similar accounts, it helps them gauge whether or not they'll think you'll be interested in their content. Did I say that? I hope that made sense. Information about the reel itself, so the content that's within the video, the soundtrack, the caption. They use video understanding based pixels to scan kind of your reel and see the shots that are there and try to interpret, oh, this is a travel type video. So the video itself as a whole gives more information to Instagram. And then finally, information about the person who posted. They do consider popularity to help find compelling content from a wide array of creators and to help give everybody a chance to find their audience. Now, all this is great. Good stuff, Millie, but how can I trigger the algorithm to work in my favor? Now we know how we can trigger the algorithm to affect what we see, but now how do you reverse engineer it so that you trigger the algorithm for your stuff to go on other people's feed? Catching my drift? Know what I'm saying? 3 things. 1, sticking to your niche. 2, setting up your account to be SEO friendly. And 3, engaging with the right accounts. I don't need to do my niche rant anymore. We already got that. We get it. We're good. But setting up your account to be SEO friendly. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this because I do have a full video here explaining all the places that you can set up your account to be the most SEO friendly. If you don't know what SEO is, don't let that scare you away. I let that word scare me away for so long. I hated that word. Intimidated. My brain shut down. My brain would shut down anytime I heard it. SEO is a strategy to organically get in front of your audience's eyes. That's SEO. It's a strategy to increase your reach. Easy peasy. It stands for search engine optimization, so the strategy is to show up in search results. Instagram does have a search bar, and they do recommend for their users to start using it as a search engine with keywords, key phrases. To show up in these search results, make sure that you have keywords and key phrases jam-packed throughout your entire Instagram, in your nameplate, in your bio, in every single post that you post. Because again, that's the information that you're feeding to the algorithm to tell them, hey, this is how to increase your reach on Reels. You know, if you're typing those words into the caption, Instagram's gonna see, oh, this is Reels tips. Let's show it to people who likes Reels tips. Again, they have those account level embeddings. So when your entire account is topically consistent and you have those keywords and phrases plugged in everywhere, it makes it that much easier for Instagram to quickly scan your account. They know exactly what your profile is about and they could recommend you to similar users. And then finally, engaging with the right accounts. Notice a lot of the triggers or the signals that they look for is people that you've engaged with in the past. So yes, it's important who you're engaging with, but also who's engaging with you. If you want to reach more people, you need to go out and find your people, engage with them so that you trigger the algorithm to be like, hey, I've engaged with this person. Maybe you should start showing them my content, right? You can't be a ghost follower. You can't be a ghost user where you're just posting and ghosting and hoping, oh, I'm gonna blow up on Instagram. No, you have to feed the algorithm all the juicy goodness. Boom, that's what I'm saying. When I say engage with the right accounts, be strategic with the accounts you're engaging with so that it's either A, your competitors or your niche neighbors, people that are in the same industry as you, or B, your target audience, maybe people who follow your competitors, people who follow people in your industry. So that's kind of the bubble of people you want to engage with. I have 2 separate accounts on Instagram. I have my personal Instagram and my It's Modern Millie Instagram. It's Modern Millie engages with my followers, engages with my niche neighbors, engages with potential new followers. That's who I'm circling and surrounding myself with. And then my personal profile, that's where I'm liking Book of the Month. That's where I'm engaging with Barnes & Noble and coffee, Mr. Coffee, Starbucks, you know, all my personal interests. I try to keep them separated so that Instagram knows who to show my content to. If you've made it this far, be sure to comment the secret phrase, "That was loaded," because this video was loaded. And if you're not already subscribed, be sure to hug the subscribe button and turn on the bell notification so you don't miss future posts like this. I keep you up to date on all the latest Instagram tips, tricks, and influencer tips and tricks. So be sure to subscribe, like, and do all of the things. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Follow your joy. Bye.